Hi, I'm Boris Hugonel, and today we are going to paint white grapes. So I'm going to do my best in those 15 minutes I've got to guide you through the steps. As you can see, I start to block in my grape in general. So I start with the light and the shadows to do the form. I use yellow for the light and add some green and some browns for the shadows. This form will be very important to keep the shape of the grapes all along the painting. So now we are starting with our first grape. We're drawing a circle, and the second grape is slightly hidden behind the first one. Yeah, I changed my mind, see? Oil paint is very forgiving. You can wipe down if you don't like it. So I will have two spots of light, and when I say spots of light, it really means that there are some raisins who are going to show on top, so they're catching more light, and I will have a few spots, so here in the front, in the middle, and a couple at the end. Notice that once I put my three first grapes in, I draw a little mark straight up from the grape to place the others. Let's see here a little better. See, in between those two grapes, I'm going to mark where my third one and then my fourth grape will go. So at this point it is important to have a main grape who's drawn round, carefully round, and then from there will always be some part of the other grapes who are hidden. So it won't be a full circle, if you see what I mean. Change the shapes as well. Do them a bit more round at the top, like so, and a bit more oval as we go behind those grapes, to the left and to the right. So now we put the first light on. We go from, if we take a clock, it is from 9 o'clock till midday. 9 o'clock midday, we put a little ribbon of light, and then with a dry brush we soften those edges. See, soften those edges. The second step will be to put a counter light, or also known, better known as a reflected light. And this reflected light, although we can't see it really well at this point, but it has a little orange in, so it's got yellow and orange, and I will darken it or get a yellow who's pure to emphasize that light. So here my yellow is a little more pure, and you can see it's a light who's really has a nice shine to it. Make sure that the middle of the grape remains the color of the blocking in from the start, as this will absolutely give us the roundness of the grape. So you've noticed I've added a little bit more white on the top between 9 and 12 o'clock, so my reflected light could shine a bit more. I don't use any thinner with my paints. This is paint straight from the tube. I don't stick necessarily with one brand, but I mostly say 80% or 70%, let's say 70% of my paints are Rembrandt. I also use Sennelier. So here I add a little brown to my yellow, and from now on all the other grapes will have a little brown in them to show that they further behind of those first grapes that we just painted together. Obviously I had to fast forward quite a bit in this video, as we only have 15 minutes to show you, but in the future, thanks to your likes and to your shares, we will get more time, and soon in the future I can show you this in a full-length tutorial. Now we are at the shadow, a little shadow, and some connection light at some areas as well. We will go further along our channel when we're a little bit further along. We talk a bit more about connective lights. There I put a bit of more pure yellow, and here starting to put the shadows, the reflections of the grapes, which will give us more depth. See how those shadows will set those grapes apart from each other and really define the shapes. So this is not the only way to do grapes, but it is a very, very efficient and very good way to draw, or to paint, I should say, grapes. Adding a few dots who represent the pips that we see through the grape. I bring this, just this little bit, to more or less to completion, so you can have a sense of what the whole grape would look like once it's finished. But it is far from being the finished painting or the finished grape as such. So if you would like to see videos like this, please don't forget to subscribe don't forget to get a thumb up. Also hit that bell so you get further notifications for new videos. I will try to post quite often. Don't be shy, leave comments. As long as they're constructive comments, I don't mind. Even if there's some critiques, I can get critiques and I can own them. Adding further shadows, which really will give that depth into the grapes. So we got 4 minutes left. As you can see, I still carry on constructing, some smaller circles, some bigger. You can start by doing all the lights first, and then put the reflected light afterwards, or you can just work it as we have done so far, work it each single grape. So this is the result, and you can see that some grapes are quite darker, and notice that fabulous effect it gives to the whole grape. It really makes it look real, and it really gives it some volume. So the grapes on the top and the back will be also darker and browner, to have that bunch of grapes going disappearing in the back. So now it's really just about putting all the shadows in, reworking the lights, the counter light, etc. Now in a little bit I will darken the blues of the blue grapes, which will be in the front. There we are, to have a little bit more shape to it and to have a better form also. So this is all we have time for that video. I hope that this will help you already to paint some grapes. And I count on your likes and your shares so we can get soon going with some full-length tutorial. So I'm going to leave you there, unfortunately, but I've enjoyed my time with you. I wish you a happy painting, and I'll see you soon for another one of those tutorials.